What's up, guys? It's Simon. So today I am going to go over the gender-neutral pronouns that I mentioned when I was talking about the Black Madonna. Now, I could have sworn I've done this video before, and I guess I deleted it. I don't know. But, so, anywho, I'm doing it again, and I'm definitely going to make sure I don't delete it this time. So, I'm going to go over it to kind of quickly because I've already done this before. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read each one of them, and I'm going to read a sentence, and then I'm going to kind of talk about how they combined both genders while incorporating that neutrality. I guess we can use that term. So, the first one is knee, so it would be knee laughed. The next one is nem. I called nem. Near. Near eyes gleam. Nears. That is nears. Nem self. Knee likes nem self. So, I'm sure you can kind of figure out the spelling of most of them and the type of pronoun that it is. So, tell me if you like this lighting better. I'm doing it with daylight, but I also have the lights on in my room, and I really think it does a good balancing act of both of them. So tell me if you like this lighting better than just the lights on or just the daylight. Because I personally like it better, so, but you know, it's up to you guys, because you guys are going to be viewing this stuff a lot more than I am. Anyway, so the first one, knee, is N-E. All of these begin with the letter N. And I should probably start off by saying that these gender-neutral pronouns, while there are many of them, not just the ones beginning with N, there's some beginning with Z, the letter Z. I had to do it backwards for you guys. There's some where they just took I think they took the word there, them, and stuff like that, and maybe even they, and they just took the TH off. I can't remember what they called that. It's something beginning with an S. Semantics or something like that. I'll try and find the link that I found these pronouns on. I'll link that below if I can, so that way you can check it out, because there's about, I think, 5 different types of gender-neutral pronouns. Now, you're probably wondering, why are there gender-neutral pronouns? Well, these were originally created for transsexuals, transvestites, and people who don't identify with a gender. I believe those are called asexuals. I'm not too familiar with political terms of that, besides the popular ones, of course. So do forgive me if I use the wrong one. It's not part of my lifestyle, so I don't know it offhand. But these pronouns were originally created for people of that like-minded group. And I wanted to use a gender-neutral pronoun because I just, like you saw in my last video, I work with the Black Madonna as my name/term for universal consciousness. And I explained why in that video. So I really wanted to, I just didn't feel comfortable using the word it. Like, it is only used for inanimate objects, like stones, and even then some could argue about them being inanimate. So I think on a spiritual level, these gender-neutral pronouns come in quite handy. Now, I know that for sure they come in handy for the people in a political/social setting, but I think we should consider as intense spiritualist, whether you be a pagan or a witch, a Christian, or just a magical practitioner, or whatever your walk of faith lifestyle may be. I think you should consider using these, because, you know, some people believe that plants have a consciousness, they have a life, so, you know, maybe you could use these gender-neutral pronouns for that. Same with the crystals and the stones. Now, of course, if you feel a feminine or masculine energy, feel free to use the appropriate pronoun corresponding to that gender. But I kind of feel that this is just, it just opens a new doorway. Now, I did mention in the first time I did this video that I don't believe that these have been accepted in the grammatical world, in the world of grammar, in English, and all that, the English language. I could be wrong. I didn't really delve too much further past finding the pronouns I wanted to use, because it's just used for my personal use of spirituality, not for like a social acceptance or anything like that, so I didn't worry too much about that. I may delve further into that type of study. It's just right now that's not where I don't want to sound rude, like I'm not interested or concerned or showing any compassion for, well, I'm omit compassion. I'm not showing any reverence or kindness or gentleness or concern to people of that lifestyle. It's just, one, it's not mine. Two, I'm just kind of dealing more spiritually right now in some financial, mundane things. That's kind of where most of my focus is right now. I like to study and learn as much as I can, but I can't do it all at once, so I'm kind of just letting things happen naturally and just working with what I have right now in more ways than one. And I'm kind of going off on a tangent more than I'd like to, so I'm going to pull it back into this topic and kind of talk about how they integrated both of the gender pronouns while incorporating that neutrality. Now, as I said before, they begin with the letter N, and that N stands for neutral. Well, actually, I think the website said that they weren't sure what it stood for, and they just assumed it began with, meant neutral, rather. It kind of makes sense, so that's what I'm going to go with. So, with the first person pronoun, you have the letter N and E. E obviously is that unifying letter from she and he. They obviously dropped the H because even though it's in both, it would kind of end up making the complete masculine pronoun. Probably also would be difficult to pronounce as well, so rather than doing that, they just kept the E. If you realize in the next one, they got E and M. Now, this could be argued as them taking the word them and switching TH for N, or taking the E from her and the M from him. Personally, that's how I see it, as the second option that I shared with you, and I kind of follow suit with that with the rest of the pronouns. So the third one is near, N-I-R, and that is the I from his and the R from her. I do want to point out how I find it interesting how when you go from direct object pronoun of him, when you do the subject pronoun, third person subject, I believe that's the proper term, it becomes his. So I found that interesting, because when it comes to that masculine pronoun setting, it changes. But when it's the feminine, it's still her both ways, so I thought that was kind of cool. The other one is nears, and that's the same spelling as the previous, just with an S at the end. So that has, this is a possession pronoun. That's what the S is for. And again, the I is from his, and the R is from her, N is for neutral. So nemself kind of takes that, the letters M and the word self, from himself. Well, actually, it takes the self from both of them. So it's a reflexive pronoun, reflecting back. Not reflexive, excuse me, reflective. Reflexive is a completely different word, so pardon that. So this is a reflective pronoun, referring back to the subject. And that's why self is in there. And then it has the, it's kind of like nem, but with self added to it. So it has the M from him and the E from her, N for neutrality. And I like to use these instead of she or he or definitely it. And kind of just gives you more variety in your speech, so that way you can have some more fluidity. Um, Also preventing you from repeating the word you or the name of the deity that you're using this for. So, oh, that's right, I just remembered something. Something I mentioned in the first recording of this video is that I asked for Elder Brimstone to comment below her deity, um, and specifically the androgynous one. I know you've mentioned that maybe once or twice. I don't know if you mentioned it in your videos, but I've definitely seen it in comments. You commented on, what was it, my altar video, I think it was? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember, but you did comment about how you work with an androgynous deity, and I'm not familiar with it, and it's possible that others are not as well. So I would like you to comment below the name of it at least, so that way people can check it out, so that way they know that there's more options out there for you guys. I personally really like working with a hermaphroditic or androgynous deity, or as I personally call it, a divine united divinity, because it unites both sexes um, as one force of energy. So that's pretty much it, you guys. I can't remember what else I said, if it was important. But I hope you found this useful, so please consider using this for your own um, combined deity, or whatever you feel comfortable using. Like I said, there are other versions of the gender-neutral pronouns, and I'm going to link that below in the description box, so check that out and figure out which one works best for you. And, comment below and let me know what you think about this. Do you think it's a waste of time? Do you think that it's going to be a great leap into the English language? I know a lot of people like to say that they think that the English language is being degenerated, and that it's going to become almost a dead language, kind of like Latin. But I don't know. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just um, what's the word? I think it's just transforming. I think whereas Latin didn't really transform that much, English is. And I mean, we have the Urban Dictionary, so I mean, it's very, very different. Um, I don't really think that the English language is ever really gonna die. Uh, what I do believe is that I believe that at one point, probably a good millennia or so from now, the it's kind of gonna go back to that Pangea, that Babylonian times where we all speak one language. I think all the languages are gonna end up melding together in a very unique, very eclectic, very profound language that may become antiquated within itself over some time, a further advancement. But I don't know. I really love learning language. Unfortunately, I don't do it as much as I used to in high school because um, of reasons I'm not going to go into, because I'm already rambling so much. But yeah, that's what I want to share with you. Before I chew your ear off and talk anymore, um, I've pretty much already addressed everything in regards to this video. So I'm gonna go, because I got another video that I need to film, and I got some stuff that I need to do. So I hope you found this interesting. I hope it inspired you to check it out. Maybe even implement these pronouns for yourself. Well, not necessarily yourself, but for um, your spiritual practice, or maybe if you're going through some type of transition, whether it be transsexual, transvestite, transgender. I don't know exactly what the difference is between those three. I kind of feel that the transsexual and transgender might be one and the same. I could be wrong, so do forgive me if that's incorrect. But I just wanted to share these because I found it very useful for my practice, and I know that I've mentioned it periodically throughout my videos, and I kind of wanted to get to a place where I could just freely use them without having to worry about explanation. So I've been kind of pulling back on the reins of, you know, using my own terminology, because I know that, well, I guess it's not fair to say my own terminology, but using these not popular terms and ideas because of confusion. So I wanted to get these videos done like the Black Madonna video and this one in spirit and soul, so that way you guys could understand where I'm coming from in future videos to come. So I hope this inspires you. Check them out. Like I said, comment below what your thoughts are. And as always, thank you for watching, and blessed be my dear witchlings.